Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. I'm Sunaya Kusingan. My topic is all about the marking system, need, problems, component. Marks and marking system are deeply embedded in the educational culture. They have become the basis of a number of action and decision within a given educational institution, as also in the whole system of education for promotion, selection, employment, teachers, evaluation, and etc. What is marking system? A marking system is basically a system of communication. If a teachers do not assign ranks in conformity with the policies reflecting the system, the marks tend to lose their significance and marking system fails to serve its needed function. Okay, so what are the two major type of marking system are in vogue? First, the numerical marks in terms of percentage varying from 0 to 100 marks. A student's mark is independent of other student mark. The system to percentage marking is called absolute marking. Second type of marking system is based on the use of a small number of letter marks, often 5 letters A, B, C, D, and F to express various level of performance. Need of marking system. Number 1, need of student. In order to know their present performance and rate of progress, and to know their adequate and inadequate in learning, and to compare their performance with their classmates, to know their potential and limitation in various subject areas. Second one is need of parents to know whether their word is progressing satisfactorily in the class, to alert them if some problems are developing, and to help them plan for the future of their child, and to know to use mark on standardized test score for decision making for further education of the child. Third one is need of teacher. To know in general the performance of student in terms of syllable tested, and to identify the areas of weaknesses for remedial teaching. To judge the effectiveness of their instruction on the basis of student performance, and to find out if certain topics or concepts in the prescribed curriculum are beyond the student level. Number 4, need of administrators or principals. To compare inter-school performance of students, and to judge whether tests from different schools compare well in terms of instructional objective tested, to ensure that the intended learning outcomes are being tested properly, and to maintain inter-school intra-school parity of performance standard. The last one is need of curriculum specialist. To find out if certain curriculum objective need to be reviewed, and to identify whether curriculum content of certain subject need to be revised, and to know whether instructional effectiveness is satisfactory for achieving instructional objectives, and to judge whether the tests used were reasonably valid and reliable. Technical question in marking. So, what should a mark be based on? What characteristic of a student be represented in a marks? Should it be appraisal of competence in a curriculum portion, or should it be modified by other factors like amount of work completed, and should it be judged by common standard or in relation to the student's potential to achieve? What type of test, exercise, or behaviors will provide evidence of achievement that the mark is to represent? For example, specified objective or expected outcome of learning. How data or evidence on different components be weighed? Achievement indicators of evidence on test, oral, exercise, project, and assignment are reported on student performance. How would for each component be decided? Some of the measures could be validity of the information, reliability of data or evidences, effective weight of each component. How many categories should be used? Reporting can be done in terms of 2, pass, fail, or mastery or non-mastery. 3, A, B, C, and C, or 4, A, B, C, F, and D, or 5, A, B, C, D, F, and E. 7, 9, or 100 or 101 categories. As the number of categories increase, the number of borderline decisions increase correspondingly. The number of categories for grading is related to reliability of evidence on which decisions are taken. If standard error of measurement is large in component that enters into a final grade or grade itself relative to the unit, discrimination becomes meaningless. The table below show the reliability categories at fall 4 labels. Grading categories 0.60, 0.70, 0.80, and 0.90. 15 A plus to A, positive to F, negative, negative F, 27% and 0.60, 31% and 0.70 rather, 37% and 0.80, and 50% and 0.90, and 5A to F. 0.60 is 70%, 0.70 is 77%, and 0.80 is 85%, and 0.90 is 96%. 3 honors pass fail. 0.60 is 91%, 0.70 is 95%, and 0.80 is 98%, and 0.90 is 99.9%. How many should get what marks A, B, C, D, E? Symbols that represent mark are basically ordinal, not cardinal system. Lack of universal consensus on the each step represent equal step of quality. Symbols are embedded in educational culture, and therefore cultural role of symbol is as important as is their psychometric properties. E is better than B, B better than C, and so on down to F. Successive symbols should represent equal steps along an interval scale. Competence is normally distributed in accordance with normal curve. For example, in the percentage of case in 5-point scale of normal curve are shown in this table. Symbol A, standard score on curve is positive 1.5 to positive 2.5 or higher. The percentage of cases is 7. B, positive 0.5 to positive 1.5 is the percentage of cases is 24. C, negative 0.5 to positive 0.5, the percentage of cases is 38. D, negative 1.5 to negative 0.5, 24 in percentage of cases. F, negative 2.5 or below to 1.5, percentage of cases is 7. To what frame of reference should mark be assigned? Marks in relation to perfection, marks in terms of student potential to perform, performance in relation to peer groups, how standard to be equated. Derived scores. Okay, derived score based on median performance, grade equivalent score, each equivalent quotient are derived score. These are in derived score based on variability of performance. There are in two types: percentile ranks, score that express position on a scale in units of standard deviation or quartile deviation. Derived score based on standard deviation. These may be of four types, which is the Z-score, T-score, informal derived score, standard score, scale score, equity score, and converted score. I will not discuss that because it will discussed by the other reporters. Components of making system. Numerical basis of assigning marks should include different aspects like home task, project test, score, and classroom contribution. Weightage to each component may be worked out on the basis of mean and SD of component score for getting the combined score. However, precise weighting of component on numerical basis is not crucial to the quality of score assigned. Okay, techniques of marking. Scaling and equating. Scaling is a technique that standardizes raw score or marks from one scale to another. Use of linear or normalized method. Linear scale transformation produces a set of score whose shape distribution is identical with that of the raw score, whereas normalized scale transformation forces a non-normal distribution of raw score into a normal distribution of scale score. Equating, statistical equating, and equating grids. Advantage of marking system. Multiple mark on various aspects of achievement can improve marking but cost more in extra efforts and may not be worth the improvement expected. The more the marks available in system indicating different level of achievement, the more reliable the marks will be, but the usability of this system is limited. System of pass-fail mark does not serve the function that marks are supposed to do, especially in the graded marks. Numerical marks lay emphasis as measurement and simplify calculation of grade point average. For quality control of marking system, it necessary publicize the distribution of mark subject by subject. Thank you and wassalam.